This backyard was big in size, but a little lacking in family fun. A basketball court provided the only action, but not anymore. An extra-large pool, covered cabana with outdoor kitchen, fire pit, and entertainment deck now offer something for everyone. John, Michelle, what do you think? You guys wanted a backyard that was going to keep the kids a little closer to home. Is it working?
It is. Actually, we have been bombarded with children since this got finished, and we actually haven't had a free day to ourselves since.
John, I'm a twin and you're a twin, but your yard is actually doing double duty for your twin brother who lives next door. How's that working out?
It's awesome. I mean, if we're not over there, they're over here, so it's accomplished what we set out for.
Well, John and Michelle knew they wanted the pool to be big, but your design ensures that it can be enjoyed in different ways.
Absolutely. We didn't want to go overscale like it's a real gaudy pool or overbearing pool. What we did is we tried to make the deep end, which is over here, for a diving board, and so we extended that just a little bit, and to keep it in proportion, we made the shallow end larger where they'll play volleyball and other activities, and it's longer in this direction. So we added a water feature just to give it a little sound and atmosphere when nobody's in the pool.
John, everything you did in this landscape had to be big out of necessity, and that definitely affected your decision making.
Well, without question. Like you know, we've got 5 kids, and I've got 3 nephews as well, and several other boys in the neighborhood, so there's already been many occasions where we've had 15, 20 kids out here playing, so it's come in handy.
There's also bleacher-style seating during basketball games on the stadium steps, which make the court easily accessible from the new landscape. There's also a really large fire pit.
The fire pit is sort of a central theme for us. We like to sit out by the fire at night, and then the cabana obviously is big because that's where we're going to eat and gather when it's hot like this. So.
Well, I noticed that the grill is also really big.
You bet. We've had about 24 burgers on there already, so it's doing its job.
Shane, I'm a big fan of stonework, and this wall is one of the coolest I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. What we did is we took larger stones to make this whole length of the wall not be so busy with tight stacked stones, and used field stone to make it look more natural. And up close it looks great, and from a distance it looks great.
You also had a large expanse of concrete that you had to deal with, and there's lots of different ways that you can dress up concrete.
Yeah, one thing we did here is we added one color to the mix, and it's a lighter color, so it doesn't take away from the stone wall. It gives a nice contrast and a nice color tone to the actual natural rock that's there.
But again, there's so many other features in the landscape. The pool deck didn't need to be one of them.
That's correct, that's correct.
Then there's the cabana. Shane, you actually fought City Hall on this one, not only to get it built for John and Michelle, but for everybody else in the county. Absolutely.
We wanted to continue to build these in the county. And one of the problems was they wanted you to have 3 sides on it, 3 walls. And my whole effect of it is I wanted it all nice and open, the breeze to blow through, that kind of thing.
But that was a problem with the code. They'd consider this a carport.
That's correct. And what we had to do is get it changed to a covered porch, basically.
Plant selections are really important, especially when you have a lot of hardscapes like you do. You have a fire pit, a pool, and a cabana. Do you have any favorite plants?
I don't know if I necessarily have favorite plants, but I just like the fact that we have so many different ones that all of them bloom at different times of the year, from spring to last us all the way to fall. And I like that we have the bigger plants to offer some shade into the pool area also.
Let's talk about plant selection, Shane. You've got a lot of nice specimens out here. I really like the Weeping River Birch right over the waterfall.
The Weeping River Birch is more of a focal point, an accent point. I wanted to use something that's a little different than the common weeping Japanese red maple that you see everywhere. It's kind of getting used a little bit too much, so this is something a little softer, real nice, but not overbearing.
Another plant Shane chose even has a fragrance that acts as a natural mosquito repellent for the yard.
The wax myrtles here behind us, I planted them to keep the mosquitoes, and like today where there's not much wind movement, it would keep the mosquitoes and other insects away from here, especially as they get more mature.
And that's really important, like in an outdoor living space right here, and it's just a good example of putting the right plant in the right location.
Absolutely.
John, Michelle, I have to ask you, what's your favorite part of the landscape?
I love the pool. It started out as a pool project and sort of grew from there, so that's my favorite part.
Michelle?
I think I like the cabana, the fact that we can all kind of gather around and sit under some shade while the kids are out there swimming.
Well, I really like this grill, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it for years to come. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for letting us come along for the ride. You bet. And thank you for joining us on Groundbreakers. We'll see you next time. Does your brother always think he can answer for you?
Well, sure he does.
How do you guys live next to each other?
Oh, it's not so bad. In fact, he was upset when I moved in because his property value went down.
Hey, watch this. Thanks for joining us at Groundbreakers. We'll see you next time. All right, guys, seriously. Thanks for joining us on Groundbreakers. We'll see you next time.